We are good.
Hey everybody, welcome to AK Geeks. This is our Thor Ragnarok movie review, breakdown, whatever you want to call it. With me I have Lynn.
What's up, everybody?
And I am Sean on this awesome N7 day. Or as Lynn will call it, X Day. Alright, so Thor Ragnarok. Lynn, let me read a little something about it real quick. Imprisoned, the almighty Thor finds himself in a lethal gladiatorial contest against the Hulk, his former ally. Thor must fight for survival and race against time to prevent the all-powerful Hela from destroying his home and the Asgardian civilization. This one is directed by Taika Waititi. The main people credited as writers are Eric Pearson, Craig Kyle, stars Chris Hemsworth, Tom Hiddleston, Kate Blanchett, Idris Elba, Jeff Goldblum. What do you like about it, Lynn? Tell me what you like.
Overall, everything.
Okay, I like that.
Overall, everything. This surpasses to me Guardians of the Galaxy.
Wow, okay.
Because it has the perfect. You know how when we saw Guardians, we said it's a perfect blend of comedy, serious tone, at the same time a lot of action. This was it took the bar so much higher. This is the bar to beat down.
Okay, I like that. Keep going.
So, but no, everything from the action, the colors, the backgrounds with nods to Jack Kirby were awesome. I love all the nods to classic Thor.
I would say that this is the most colorful Marvel film so far.
Since Guardians, because Guardians,
I think it's even more colorful than Guardians.
Yeah, but that's because a lot of it takes place on Earth or on a planet instead of the darkness of space where you just get colors, or nowhere where you got the different alien lands or what have you. This was all bright. You weren't in the darkness of space or anything like that. His Guardians still is colorful, but
very colorful. As much as that was, this one was more colorful.
Yeah.
Keep going, Lynn. Lay it on us.
But no, I mean, oh my God, I wish I could see this like 4 more times before getting it on Blu-ray. I cannot wait for the 4K release. Just because it's not a movie to pass up. If you guys are waiting on it, sitting on it, you're freaking crazy. And I mean, the most humorous thing I saw, and I don't know if this is you, but the funniest thing to me throughout that whole film, even with everything that was in there, was that play.
The play was awesome. It was Matt Damon as Loki.
Yeah.
Which that was awesome.
Sam
Neill from Jurassic
Sam
Park.
O'Neill from Jurassic Park as Odin.
As Odin, and the lesser known
Hemsworth
brother. But actually, if you go to Australia, he's well known because he does novellas or whatever you want to call them over there, soap operas over there. Yeah, Luke Hemsworth.
Yeah.
And so I was looking at the cast, and I think there's other family members in the film. There's at least, I think, a woman named Hemsworth in the film as well. That was an awesome part. I definitely like that. I like what happens during the play, but also on the outskirts when Thor says, "Hey, father!"
Yeah.
Like, oh shit.
Yeah. His reactions, and I'm sorry, Odin to me, even though it was Loki, was awesome.
He played good. He did a good Loki.
He did
impression.
a good Loki.
He did a good Odin as Loki, or
Loki as Odin.
Loki being Odin. Yeah.
Which was
it
awesome.
Was great. What else? Anything else stand out to you that just like grabbed your imagination?
There's just so much, man. The interaction, the friendly interaction between both Thor and Hulk, and yet Thor and Banner. How he's like a guy with 2 girlfriends, and he's trying to keep both girlfriends at ease with one another by saying, "I don't really like the other girl. You're the one I like." It's like he's juggling them. Like
it's like a junior high thing, or like a little young high school thing. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah,
which I thought was awesome.
Some of my positives about this is I felt like everybody did a good job acting. I like everybody had like growth if their characters were in the previous movies, I felt that all their characters had some kind of growth.
No more. I think no. I think the one who had the most growth in this is Thor. I think what brought it big time.
And Thor's growth, I love it because you see a little. We saw it in the after credit stuff on the DVD Blu-ray for I forgot what movie, where he's like, they call Banner for Civil War, but they don't call Thor.
Yeah.
Or see it when he's with his Kevin, his roommate. But that like is to an extreme, you know. In this though, they did enough to say that Thor is still that jovial, lighthearted person that you see at the beginning of the first Thor, and then he gets all super serious, and he's still aware enough that he can like battle plan and strategize about what's going on. And then even what the part I really liked about what Thor's character is that he showed you he's not an idiot.
When no, I actually disagree, because I thought there was a lot of moments where he was being a buffoon, which to be fair, because Thor is in mythology, he's stubbornly stupid. Yeah. He thinks of himself so much, it makes him not see what's in front of his face. And in this picture,
not what I mean, though.
And in this picture, I think they caught that aspect of it because it's been in the comics.
That's fine, but that's not what I mean. I'm saying that there is the scene where they're talking about what kind of ship they need.
Yeah.
And they even have him say some science, or in their science or magic mumbo jumbo. He says yada yada yada.
Yeah, but that aspect, it still goes back to him. You know, he's still stubbornly stupid because he couldn't believe he said all that.
I don't know about that, but he's grown a lot. All the characters have grown, and even with like a simple, like a little 5-word sentence from Mark Ruffalo's Bruce Banner, he goes, you know, well, I've been stuck in somebody's. Why I can't? I mean, what do you think? I'd come out weird? I'm pretty sure I'm acting a little weird. I was stuck in somebody for 2 years.
Yeah.
You know, and so I like the fact that it kind of plays up to the fact that Bruce Banner hasn't seen the light of day in 2 years. Yeah. So he's a little off kilter right now, and I like that. You know, he's trying to get his bearings, and like you said, so many neurons are firing, and his brain can't keep up with him.
Yeah.
Loki grew as a person as well, I felt, as a character, even to the point where he does do something that's repetitive, and Thor calls him on it. You know, you could have been so much more, but you'll always be the god of mischief, you know, or you're the god of mischief, but you could have been more.
Yeah.
And so I like that. I like the introduction of some of the new characters. Korg. Korg's freaking awesome.
Yeah, I didn't think they were going to have him be so prevalent, and even Meep, because Meep's
Meep, yeah. Because, Meep, I'm sorry, Meep. I stomped on him on the bridge.
I wish they would have given him... I got to go back and look at World War Hulk, because I did read it, and he's awesome in that book.
Meek?
Meek, yeah. So it was good to see both of them together.
I liked what Meek was. Meek was like a little, like a larva type of thing with little itty bitty arms.
At the end.
Yeah, at the end. But I'm saying though, but that's what I'm saying. His actual body is.
Yeah.
But he had like a suit on with actual arms, and he could fight with his knives.
Yeah.
I like some of the jokes in here are not trying to be super hardcore jokey. They are just normal dialogue, and they do such a good job of pulling that off. I mean, the one couple times when they do try to say a joke, like, "Here's my friend Meek. He has scissors for hands. Don't make any. Don't watch. He's very dangerous, especially if you're a rock.
No. He says, "I'm not dangerous unless you're scissors."
Yeah,
and that's what Meek was like saying. That he did the move.
He goes, "Don't be afraid unless you're rock like me." And he's like, "Oh, it's a little rock paper scissors joke for you." And the way that he describes it. That he's saying a joke, which I totally got as a joke.
Yeah,
but
he wanted to make the joke
because he's so. Korg was so on the nose about things, and it's funny as hell that he's so on the nose about things. I like that. And Taika Waititi's voice as Korg, I love it. It sounds so great. It's like, oh, that's awesome. Got a New Zealand accent. It's really good. The action in the film, I love the fight between Thor and Hulk. The choreography on that scene. Thor, bob and weave and duck under and take the shots when he needs to take the Hulk down, by taking his leg with the hammer or whatever, and doing what he can instead of trying to outmuscle him. It's like Thor's figured out how to take him down. Yeah. It's nice to see that stuff. It's nice to see that Hulk, while he is the strongest Avenger, he's not invulnerable to being beaten per se. And by beaten, I just mean losing a match. I don't mean
Well,
beaten by.
yeah, but at the yeah,
Because that
I
match,
get that.
Thor beat him. Thor beat him.
Well, if you're looking at it from Thor's perspective, the match ended in a draw. Is the way I look at it, which is mostly what happens when heroes fight one another. It ends in a draw.
Okay, I want to understand how did it end in a draw?
First of all, Thor was cheated. He was tossed down, and then Hulk squashed him.
Yeah,
and then Hulk squashed him, and then next thing you know, he's waking up in Hulk's room.
Okay.
That's pretty much a draw right there, man. Both of them got their one-ups on one another, but no one really got over on the other. Because Thor did not get over on him. You know what I mean? It was
I felt like Thor had turned the tide when he was able to center his lightning.
Yeah, but he didn't have full control of it.
Well, he was about to, and then he got buzzed because Goldblum was like, "Oh, he's my champion."
But
so, I don't know, but I liked the fight. It was good choreography.
Yeah.
It was good to see. Good to see someone almost equal to Hulk, but in ability, I guess.
Yeah.
It was good. It was good. Valkyrie. I liked Valkyrie a lot.
I like how she was presented. I don't like the fact that she was the only one, because I do have a lot of problems with a lot of the story changes that they did to make it seem fit, like Hela's heritage. Complete bullshit.
Hold on, let's get to that a little later. I'm talking about positive still.
I can't because she's fine. The act.
Let me finish my positives.
Okay.
And then your negatives, because now you're turning my positive into the negative Nancy Debbie Downer stuff.
You asked me what I thought about her, and
okay. Well, let me finish then. Before I turn it over to you, then let me finish. I like what they did with her character. There are issues, yes, which we will touch on. I like the fact that she was a tortured soul. I like her relationship with Banner, even after he turned back to Banner with Hulk/Banner. I feel like I know you, and then they had so fast and so easily their relationship turned to playfulness. Yeah. And it was like, oh, that's a good chemistry right there. I like that. I like overall with the film is what they did was with some of the decisions they made at the end of the film is you really don't know where Thor is going to go from here. It's up in the air. So I like that about it. It changed some things, and you can complain about it. You don't have to like it, but it's something where we're like, okay, so shoot, what's Thor going to do now?
This is easy because it started with him losing his eye. I got where they were going with the ending with the destruction of Asgard. I knew exactly where they were going with this. Where
are they going with it, Lynn? Because you know everything.
Well, no, because in the books, and this is current how they used for a while, all of Asgard was on Earth because of the destruction. It brought all the Asgardians, what was left of them, to Earth. Thor has no other place to go but Earth. Okay, and that's where everybody else is going to go. Obviously, with that mid-credit scene that we saw, something's going to prevent that. Yeah. Sooner or later, Thor and the Asgardians will make it to Earth. Maybe it's going to be after, the Infinity Gauntlet or the Infinity War, whichever. But
now, they said in an interview, Kevin Feige said that ship in the mid-credit scene is called essentially Sanctuary 2, which is Thanos' big ship. Yeah, which is good. I'm glad they gave him a ship because I was tired of that freaking little rock floating out in the nowhere.
Yeah.
But all right, go on to your negatives, but please.
Now, to be fair, my negatives are very small in detail. Very small. Overall, the movie I have is just nothing but positive. Like I said, my problem, number one, is Hela's heritage. Hela is the daughter of Loki. Mm-hmm. In every aspect, even mythology, and every comic that's ever been written, she's one of Loki's children. The fact that you would change her up to be Odin's eldest and the rightful owner of Mjolnir is ridiculous. Just to have her fit into the story. And
see, that's another thing that I have all the time with you, Lynn, is that.
Well, no. This is not. This is something that you don't.
Comic books.
No, I'm basing it on Hela. Period. Hela's characteristic. You don't fuck with that. And I'm talking not only in comic. I'm talking about in spirituality and in every aspect of life. Whenever it pertains to Hela, she is the daughter of Loki. Fenris is the son of Loki. The big bad wolf you see that fights the Hulk is Loki's son. So I hate to burst your bubble. Of course I'm gonna.
I'm just.
But you're saying you have a problem with me because I have a problem with them changing that aspect.
When I don't like it when you always compare it to the comic, and that's your.
I'm sorry. It's like saying let's make the Hulk a female. Let's make Banner female, and she just turns into the Hulk. And then you eliminate everything else that's been going on for the last 60 plus years, 70 plus years. I'm sorry, you don't need to do that to get new followers to pay attention to what's going on in the film. A well-established character that even pertains outside of books, but religion as well, you don't fuck with just to appease what few new watchers you'd get out of it. You know what I mean? You didn't need to make her that. You could have made her Loki's child. And Loki's the trickster. Loki's betted so many different people. He's betted a horse. He's so there's aspects of the mythology that they're taking away by doing this. Okay. And that's the same problem that I have with Valkyrie. The fact that she's the only one. And we saw the battle with Hela the first time.
No, I agree with you on this. Based on the movie, the fact that she's the only one to survive that assault.
Yeah.
I don't get how that happens. And she says, and if you remember, there's one line in there. She goes, "The only reason I survived," and then she stops. And then they show it later on is that the blonde woman pushes her out of the way, and the blonde woman takes the sword.
Yeah.
What happens? How does she get out right there?
That's another thing.
Survive? That's my. I agree with you. I don't think that she should have been the only one. But why? Where are you coming from on that one?
No, I'm on that same wavelength, and at the same time, the Valkyrie that comic readers know is the blonde, one that looks sort of similar to the girl that got the spear by Hela. So we never understood if we don't get to see her how she escapes outside of that, because for her to just completely run away and like denounce all of Asgard because of it.
Start drinking nonstop.
Yeah, it's like we're missing a chunk of her story that we never really got.
There's a relationship in there somewhere that should have been developed.
Yeah,
and it's probably with that blonde woman.
Not even just a relationship, just where from that battle to where Thor first sees her, there's a chunk of her history that's missing.
Yeah,
for her to denounce all of Asgard and just run away from a fight, which the Valkyries are pretty much the warrior women that bring all the men who die in battle to Valhalla. So she denounces, it's one of the highest honors to be a Valkyrie. She denounces all that, and we don't really get a full reasoning for it. We just get a snippet.
I'm sure there has to be something there, but they didn't give it to us.
Right, which it takes away from her character as a whole because of it.
I felt like that part is lacking in her character. Yeah. I like the other stuff she did on screen. I liked the character very much otherwise.
Oh yeah. Besides that, she was awesome.
The doom and gloom drinking thing, and like never talking about. And then when she argues with Thor about, I've already given everything for that blood, the crown, and I'm not doing it anymore. Like, I want to understand why. Other than all the Valkyrie dying, show me the bond between all the Valkyrie.
Yeah.
Because I thought there was gonna be more. They don't really show us, but essentially we saw the entire Valkyrie scene in the trailer.
Yeah, pretty much.
So like we already got everything we saw in the trailer coming into the film for the Valkyrie. So I wish there was more than there. I agree with you on that part exactly. Like there's something missing there, and that's one of
this is where I think this is the key aspect that I think where the movie dropped off on is with her. because like we don't get a complete character of who she is
Yeah,
because of
I
it.
do like I like I said though, I do like what I did see out of her, but I could tell like that you said it's not a full complete character. There's still something
Yeah,
missing.
yeah. But
Um,
those
what
are two of my key things. Outside of that, like I said, artwork, the headgear for Hela, she had to decide whether she was going to keep it on or off. I sort of liked her without it at
I'm
times.
okay. I'm Kate Blanchett, freaking amazing, man.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I
The,
don't care.
the stride she has when she's walking, when she's
God.
when she's on Asgard, she's walking through the halls leading up to the throne, and she's got that swivel.
Yeah, I
Oh
was
man,
just like, my jaw dropped when she walked out and she looked like tore up and whatnot. I was like, oh damn. I'm sorry, but I know this sounds really bad. She pulled it off. She was like a seductive, evil, freaking woman that you don't like. Go ahead and be bad.
yeah. Which
Go ahead,
which
do whatever you want.
to be fair goes back to what I said. She has a lot of things because there are stories of her and Loki working together to trick the other gods, especially Thor. So that demeanor, that aspect that she shows in that is equivalent to how she is in the books.
I liked her dialogue throughout the film too.
Yeah.
She it was like she understood herself. She understood how Odin was, and it wasn't like she was just like he like twirling her mustache kind of villain. Like she was raised up to be this way and then denounced when it got too much for someone who didn't want to do it anymore. So it wasn't tragic, but it was like that's totally not her fault almost, you know?
Well, yeah, no, I get that, and I agree with it, but at the same time, it's also at the point where Odin got to a point,
Too much.
and this is basically because of my knowledge of actual Norse mythology. When Odin banishes said creatures like Fenris, Hela in mythology, she's the most beautiful thing ever created on one side of her face. The other, and I'm just speaking mythology, not anything else. And the other side, it's decayed, it's dead, and what have you. And because of that, he rewards her by being queen of the dead and sends her to hell to rule over that. That's her kingdom. You know, but at the same time, it keeps her at bay.
Yeah.
So it's
And
not
then
really
also-
a banishment. But with this, it made it seem like, okay, you've gone too far, you need to go. And
Yeah.
I like that because it made her more resentful of Odin. So I understood that. I just wish, for one, Fenris should have been talking. It would have been actually nice if her and Fenris had a conversation, because Fenris does talk.
You think in a more eloquent than the Hulk, or about where the Hulk
About
is?
the same.
Okay.
Yeah. And it would have
Is
been
it
actually
really-
awesome. It would have actually been awesome if the two of them would have had a conversation while fighting and going over the falls as well.
They use some Jungle Book technology right there and
Right.
put off movement in.
Right.
Yeah. Kate Blanchett was awesome in this.
Yes.
It's hard to say that she's the best villain ever, because still, to me, as of right now, it's still an anti-villain, an anti-hero that's the best villain in Loki, pretty
Yeah.
much. Unless we can start counting Spider-Man: Homecoming, which I really loved. Michael Keaton's character in that film.
I like the Vulture, but I have to agree. I think because it's still a small role and you don't know where until we see more if they actually do more with them.
But yeah, Vulture
comes
can.
back.
But Vulture right now has the foundation. Michael Keaton's Vulture has a good foundation to be a really, really good villain. I feel like he's charismatic. He can bring people in and villains, and he has a heartfelt reason for doing what he's doing. Not
See, but what Marvel did with him, because considering that he's a high B level villain for Spidey,
Yeah.
he's not one of the big ones, but at the same time, he's one of the more well known. They
Yes.
actually made him more prevalent and more relevant, I should say, and more meaningful to Spider-Man as a rogue gallery villain than ever before.
Yeah,
you
because
know?
they matched up the daughter Liz.
Yeah, they tied the origins so closely together with one another. So now there's a lot more at stake than
Yeah.
anything that's come
Well,
prior.
and that added to his character because in his heart he was doing it to protect. He literally was doing it to protect his family. I mean, even at the beginning of the film, he starts off like he's trying to keep things small just to make a living.
Yeah, but at the
And
same
so,
time, I still think he pales in comparison with Loki because of that. Where Loki, you want to believe, yeah, there's him doing good, and he's doing good because he wants to do good and he loves his brother, but no, he's pulling the wool on everybody.
I think
He
I
has a
think with Loki, I don't imagine us seeing him do any like truly evil things anymore. Like
That's
truly
why
evil.
that's what the whole point of being the god of mischief is. You're not supposed to think he's doing truly evil. The god of mischief doesn't really do evil. He's just doing
Yeah.
things for the hell of it because he's amused by it. So anything that he does that's bad is really to him isn't because he's doing it out of his own amusement.
And I think other thing about Loki is that what we saw in Thor Ragnarok is him being, "Here comes your savior."
Yeah, exactly.
If he is
His
able to
and
get that kind of audience and that kind of attention and for doing something, he
yeah,
is like filled up to here with it. He's so happy. He
his
loves that.
end goal in all his life, everything is to be the ruler of Asgard, by hook or by crook. Whether it's been looked upon and adored or hated and reviled, he doesn't care. He'll take it however he can. That's Loki. However he can.
Now,
Whether he has to play himself as a good guy, buddy to his stubborn brother who he can fool all the time, or he actually goes full vendetta and tries to kill him.
and if you notice, every time something happens between him and Thor that might be a little touching, you can see him catch it, and he goes, "I gotta snap out of this. I gotta snap out of this."
Exactly.
Nope. And then he does this little thing, like it's almost like he's scared of it too.
Yeah.
He's scared of it. But going back to Hela, because we're comparing these villains, I understand where she's at, and I respect her. And the actress Kate Blanchett did a wonderful job as it. The costume design was great. I was surprised that they didn't incorporate her cape to be, how because part of her cape was. I was thinking that maybe they were going to do something with that because the face thing,
Yeah.
that you mentioned. The cape was supposed to make her all powerful and whatnot, or according to certain things. So I was wondering if that was going to happen. It didn't happen. I liked what they did with her doing the hair thing into her crown.
Yeah.
I thought it was cool that she could summon these, whatever you want to call them, knives or swords or pieces of pillars. I thought that was a cool little aspect to her. Is that because of the sword that she has, the sword of darkness or whatever it's called?
Yeah.
So, yeah, she has these powers. I liked it. What do you think about the whole Heimdall situation with him like helping the refugees and things like that?
It was expected. He was like the only good god left on Asgard. It was like
Yeah.
he was the last one standing, so he was hiding as many of the civilian folk, god folk that he could. But for him, I wanted to see what led to him being called a traitor and abandoning his post.
Yeah, he probably sensed something. He probably saw something happening, and that was when he did it. What do you think about Ray Stevenson and Zachary Levi going out like little punks?
I hated that.
It's not like
See, I'm sorry. I love the Warriors 3, and I understand.
Hogan lasted for a minute, but the Fendral, and Volstagg, they went out past.
My problem with that, I understand as Guardians, they get reborn, they come back to life. Death is not, in Asgardian tales, death is not permanent for the gods. Okay, it's not permanent.
That's why. Is that why?
The only
with
thing that's
whole Loki and being the father of Hela, I've heard it described as Hela is the son of Loki, not the Loki right now, but a previous Loki. That's what I've heard.
no, there's mythology. There's only one Loki. It's just Was it early in his life that he had his kids? No, he had his three, Fenris, Hela, and then the snake, is the center of the earth. Those three children of his came from his first wife, and then he had others with his wife, who was a ice troll, which is his home, which he kept, but he gets punished for that, and she stands by him. Outside of that, we didn't talk about the executioner.
Well, we get to what I'm trying to find out right now is because you said death is not permanent or whatever.
As far as the
that's
gods,
why I'm asking
yeah,
this.
because in
So-
mythology they do come back. And one of the key things. What?
So you're saying Hogun, Volstagg, and Fandral are supposed to rebirth somehow.
Right, and they've gone down in battle before, gotten to Valhalla, and have come back from Valhalla.
Okay.
So the only, and what I would have loved and appreciated, Ragnarok, they had Surtur, which is fine, but they didn't explain that from the death of Balder begins the actual start of Ragnarok. Balder being Odin's favorite son, who was the most well-loved god of them all. And
there's been no Balder in these movies.
Right, but there are Balders in the books as well, and Balder the Brave. Well, in mythology, it's Balder the Beautiful, because he's the most well-loved and respected.
Like Bold and the Beautiful.
Well, no, but all Balder dies because of Loki. Loki tricks everyone, and something happens where the dart goes through. But the
You would have
catalyst.
appreciated that a little bit more.
Yeah, just a little bit. Just in hindsight, it didn't need to be big. But I love Surtur at the end being the total cause and why Thor had to let it happen.
Yeah.
This has to happen.
Yes.
And the fact that Loki once again brought upon the end of Ragnarok, which is what is mythologically correct. He does bring upon the end of Ragnarok, Asgard.
Okay. So right there, we're going to take a side step back to Scourge, because there's something right after there that I want to bring up to you. But
Yeah.
Scourge, how'd you feel about Scourge?
He was awesome. He was like, he jumped out of the books.
Yeah, he did.
It was the Walt Simonson run, which is a lot of the Asgardian backgrounds and clothing and everything was taken from. Even the little hint of Thor being turned into a frog comes straight out of Walt Simonson's run on Thor. When he was Thor. And a lot of that, I appreciated it. He was so badass with the rifles. But I wish he would have used the axe more, because that's his predominant weapon.
Which I think